Well, setting this as a default button, one of the things that we need to do when we do something that we know didn't work, that we know, for example, I'm angry about something in the past and I take it out on my poor son here. He's here. He perceives it and says, yeah, so what? I know you didn't mean it, kind of a thing, you know. And because he knows me, you see, but other people don't. So if I'm angry about something and you happen to say something and it triggers me, my anger comes to you. I would suggest that we really be careful about this. Our anger is our own. Anger comes from the past. Fear comes from the future. Those two things don't exist in the present. Does that make sense? You see, somebody's standing right in front of me and they're saying something, it triggers something from the past, and I have an emotional response to an incompletion in my life that I take out on the person in front of me. And usually it's the people we love and care for and respect, or it's the boss or co-worker or somebody like that, you know. Somebody that's close to us that has a tight relationship somehow. The person who would be in your corner and support you and love you is the one that gets that. So here's a great little method. Just put your left hand over your heart and say, I forgive myself. And your right hand over your left hand and say, and I love myself. I'll tell you what, you do that in front of a mirror, like a half an hour. Look straight at your own third eye, your God vision, your perception of the truth. And you do that for a half an hour. I forgive myself. And don't just, you know, I forgive myself, Rick said so, you know, half an hour, I forgive myself. It's not going to work, okay? When you have a thought, and you have a feeling, and an action, you create a result. You just have a thought, there's no result. Or there could be, you could get lucky. You just have a feeling with no thought behind it. You know the old saying, emotions up, you know, intelligence down. You gotta be careful, okay? But you do that for 30 minutes. I forgive myself, it will change your life. And if you're smart, you put it on a cassette player, you know, and you'll turn it over the other 30 minutes, and you say, I love myself. And you look at your third eye. You pay attention to your own heart, your whole body. This is an amazing, amazingly simple way to create a change from doubt and misery and illness and pain and despair to faith, confidence, and power. Wouldn't it be nice to say, oh, geez, I just yelled at the kids. I didn't want to do that. What a jerk I am. How stupid is that? What am I building with that kind of thought train? Holy cow, what am I building? You bet. I'm building more anger, aren't I? I'm building more reasons for me not to get what I want, because I guarantee you, when you do something outside of your God talent, your God skill, your oneness with God, you will find a way to punish yourself. Whether it's a cold, a terminal illness, a car accident. We all have, you know, depending on how dramatic we want to be. So, if you have this default button that says, I forgive myself and I love myself, and guess what? I'm going to go back to that child and say, oh, geez, you know, I did this, I wasn't angry at you, I didn't mean it, and let's be friends again. Wouldn't that be nice? A default button called I forgive myself, I love myself. In most of the classes that I teach, they're chock full of these kind of things. I wanted to do something called the personality matrix, but I can see that it's just not going to work here today. It's about a 20-minute process. And so what I will do is I will offer it to you all when I get back, okay? Because that's what I intended to do today, but we got a little bit behind schedule. And I was marveling at how some people just get up here and talk, you know, and for the most part I usually can, but when you're supposed to talk, it all gets turned around backwards. You have to try to think about what you're going to say or do. Well, I forgive myself, you see, and I love myself, and it gives me the faith, the confidence, and the power to be here in front of you now. Each time I do this, I get a little bit more faith that I can do it again. Each time that I do this, I have a little bit more confidence about what I'm saying. Each time I do this, I become more and more powerful in who and what I am. Wouldn't it be worth meditating 15 minutes a day to have that kind of power? 1/96th of your day. How about that? Not very much, is it? to change your entire day, to completely direct what it is that you are going to feel, have, and be in that moment, as distinct from it just happened to me. And if it just happened to you, what's the feeling? Helplessness? It's not my fault. And here's the saddest part. It's your fault. You're the one. Do you see what we do? Well, it couldn't be us. Well, it can't be us if we don't acknowledge something's there in the first place. But I'll tell you, if our own lives aren't running well, the best place to look is back at that mirror, because it initiated with your own thought. So what I would tell to you is to gain the faith in yourself by looking at yourself in that mirror, knowing that you are a divine creature of God, knowing that you are divinely led in everything and anything that you do. And that when it resonates with you and you feel good and you know it serves, let's do it this way, you know that it's pure and honest and serves the highest and best good for everyone, including my actions, that I now am loving myself, that I have entered into this state of oneness, that when I care for myself, I'm caring for you. And when I see one of you not caring for yourself and I care for you, I'm caring for me. As Jill Bolte-Taylor pointed out, she realized we are not separate. We're all this same energy. There was one point where she was laying on the bed and she could tell which people came in who didn't really care about her because their energy was very dark, and which people came in to service her that really cared about her. There were these bright lights. And then one day they were standing around talking over her, and they were saying, she's not going to make it, she's going to go, we have to prepare for this. And then this little bright light came weaving through all of these people and got up in bed with her. Now she had no cognition of who this was, no left brain cognition. It was her mother. And she began to heal. It's an incredible story. Make your lives an incredible story. Be outrageously you. Be who it is that you want to be. Listen to the voice within. Being one with God is a hobby that needs practice to happen. It's so beautiful to see everybody here. We're practicing. We're practicing a lot. In these next few months, I'll be doing a lot of teachings. I'm going to bring the teachings of my teacher, Alexander Everett, who spent time with the Fillmores, who helped in the effort of Unity Church. I had the privilege to be his student, to be his friend. He was an incredible mentor. And I really wish to bring his teachings out to the world now. He's passed on about 4 years ago. His entire thrust of all of his teachings, which became mine, is to get into yourself and know who you are. And from that place, that touching God, speaking directly to your higher self, you will do what is pure, what is honest, what serves the highest and best good for all. You will develop faith in everything that you do. You will become confident in all of your actions. And you will be very powerful for the good of all. I'll look forward to seeing you all when I get back. I have some information that you can keep in touch, and I guess that's how we'll do it. We can do some things for the church, and I will bring this other teaching about this personality matrix. The more we can learn about ourselves, the more we know who we are, the easier and the better we can communicate and interact with others. And this is so. Bless your hearts. Thank you very much.